said he didn't want to hear it. He ain't heard enough.
You said the court.
Hey, look, hey, recess. Hey, look, you know how Judge Judy be like, hey, I heard enough. Judge Judy said, I don't hear it. I heard enough. You know what I should have said? So that's right. Greg Mathis said, you look like a crackhead. I know it's all in when I see it. Chris, how many years before? Better than Calvin Burger. Have you ever seen Calvin? You know he
No, actually, I know that.
really class.
No, I find this out.
Calvin Murphy came.
Oh, well, this guy might pick one right for his money. He's huge, too. He's like 6'3". Fabulous.
He was everything.
Oh, he was. Because, you know, I'm watching everybody else. This guy. So I can't believe I was this many years old and I found out I was up. Where have I been?
And sometimes at halftime, he'll bring
No,
halftime of some, like 1 or 2 a year, the halftime of the Rockets game, his group will come.
oh, that's cool.
That's how when I found out that really great Jones. I didn't know.
I feel like the twirling is out more outlandish, though. Right. Another squirrel. Like, he's twirling.
I have one of those too.
Came out of nowhere. Yeah, because my dog on Saturday was wearing blue sequins. I'm sure he knows them. They might just not let him wear it at work.
Yeah, that's fine. It's Gatorade.
There you go. Hey, Brandon, good to see you, man. Yeah, good to see you. Yeah. Go ahead, you got the first one.
Well, I guess we can start off with Kenyan Green. Obviously, Nick talked about it earlier. How do you feel about you guys, where you guys are with the offensive line? It looks not quite the way it did when you guys came in.
Right, it's definitely changed up front with our offensive line, and we're making all the necessary adjustments and additions that we need to do to put out the best O-line that we can. Feel like we still have a really good group up front that have to come together. We have new pieces up front. We have to come together very quickly, all right, to get ready to go play versus Baltimore. But feel good about the additions that we've added to our team. Guys who have experience, guys who played before, and guys who can step in and get the job done.
What went into the decisions you guys cut a couple of players that played a lot for you, specifically Desmond King. What went into some decisions to cut guys like that, Desmond King, Christian Person?
It's always tough when you have to make those decisions on veteran players who have played a lot of football. And it's also just as we look at it and make those decisions, we just look at those decisions as what's the best for our team, for where we are right now, right? Not looking so much of what happened in the past. And those, Kirko and Dez are two really good players, leaders. Kirko, a really great leader, great man. And it's hard, right? It's hard to let those guys go. But at the same time, we feel like that was the best move for our team and wish those guys well. There's never any doors closed, right? You never know what can happen in the league as far as transactions and guys coming back, but we wish those guys well.
Nick mentioned that it was a matter of when, not if, with Kenyan in May. I thought this might be a possibility. Could you kind of talk about what that process was like over the summer, managing through that and preparing for the possibility that you would have to find more options?
Right, Kenyan did a really good job of just rehabbing. He had with his knee, trying to work it back, his shoulder. He had, things going on, and I think it's really the credit goes to Kenyan because he put the work in his offseason to be available for a training camp. He went out every day and gave it his all every day at training camp and pushed through a lot of things. So, as I said earlier, really proud of Kenyan and the things that he fought through and do through a difficult training camp for him, physically having a lot going on and to go through a hard training camp. So, credit to him, a young player, he'll bounce back. Just, hoping for Kenyan to take care of himself, get himself ready to go for next year.
You guys are fielding the best five on the offensive line. What was the thought process with Michael Dieter and his release from the team, and where you see that position going?
Right now with our team, there are a lot of positions, a lot of things are still moving. Our team isn't just set just yet. Right? We won't have our team set until next week. So as you guys will see over the next few days, weekend, there will be a lot of moving pieces that continue to happen with our team. So.
Coach, along those same lines with Kenyan, how do you as a head coach go about continuing just to be there for him on the human element of things? Because as a young man said to me, of course, it's not nothing that we could prepare for.
For my position as a head coach with all of our guys, it's first and foremost is caring about the individual, man. Everyone talks about everybody can turn on the game and highlight a particular play or this guy doing well on a play or not so well. That's what everyone sees, right? And that's the spotlight that we're in. Being in the NFL, I understand that. All of our players and coaches understand the spotlight that we're under, but I'd never lose sight of the men that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. And we all have, as you all as well, we all have personal issues that are going on. We all have life that hits us all, right? And how can you handle that? And these players are resilient because they have to deal with the scrutiny that comes from the job that they have to do, but also they have life as well. They have families that they're trying to provide for. So it's tough on players, and a lot of times that doesn't, right? It gets highlighted at this point in time of the year because it's cuts, but these guys are men, they have families, and they are humans all year. Right, who are going through things, not just when it's difficult, but all year they're dealing with things, and it just proves the resiliency of all the NFL players.
Once you guys get ready for the season that's about to start, obviously season's going to be started. You guys have invested a lot in the offensive line. So how vital would that unit be to see this transition from college to the NFL?
The offensive line is important, right? No matter who's playing that quarterback. We have CJ, young quarterback. Whichever quarterback lines up back there, you want to make sure he has a great protection up front. So that will always be of high priority to me amongst the offensive line and the defensive line because I feel like that's how you win games. It starts up front, and that would never change. Right? Try to go out with the subpar O-line or subpar D-line, you're going to be in for a long day. So it'll always start there for me.
What sort of challenges does it present to the offensive line? You mentioned the additions, but these guys have been playing with each other, and you only have a handful of practices before game one. What kind of unique challenge does that present to the offensive line?
When it comes to the offensive line and guys haven't played, it's at the end of the day, everybody has to do their job. Guys are dialed in with meeting time, preparation. All guys have to do is just do their job and do it as well as they can do it, and that's all we can ask for. And over time, right, they'll continue to gel together and come together as one. But all we need guys to do is go out and be a professional and do what they need to do to get their job done.
Coach, outside of offensive line, is there anything else that you all are looking for as far as waiver wire, things like that, to concern at any position group, any other position group?
When it comes to the team and as we build the team, we'll always look to add, right, to our roster. We want to add as much depth as possible, right? When you can have the opportunity to add quality players anywhere at any position on our team, that's what we'll do. We're always looking to upgrade, always want to have the best team possible every time we line up. So, again, we're always, searching that waiver wire, whatever, any way we can add or make a transaction to add to our team for guys that are going to help us and make our team better, then we're open to doing that.
Coach, what was your reflective moment before you started delivering the news to some of the guys, that didn't make the team? What did your reflective moment before you actually start giving that news to those guys?
And before having to give the bad news to guys, I went back to, being a young player and understanding, right, you've battled with all these guys in training camp through preseason games, and now you come in one day and the locker room is different. It's a little quieter in the locker room. Some guys are missing. And I remember the shock that it gave me as a young player. And because everywhere you've played, from high school all college, like no one ever tells you, no, you can't be on the team. So it's hard to deliver that news and say, no, not at this time. So I reflect back to me being in that position as a young player, how it affected me. So when I talked to our team, I just made sure that the guys who are on our team, and they realized that still we need you to reach out, right, to our other brothers, right, make sure we're connecting, make sure you're checking on the guys, making sure they're okay. We'll have some guys come back eventually for practice squad, but make sure those guys feel that you care about them, right, because of the special bond you guys have built throughout the OTAs and training camp.
I know Titus is still returning. But he's played left guard before. Is that under consideration for him?
For
Titus right now, the only thing is for Titus just to get healthy and be back and ready to go.
DeMeco, when you look at the position groups, how do you feel about the nickel position? Do you feel like with Javier, with Grayland having some versatility, do you feel like those guys can fill out top for you as well?
Yeah, with our defense, with our defensive backs, linebackers, I feel like we have a very versatile back seven group, and that's how I look at it. Whoever those seven will be, we'll make it work. We have a lot of guys who can do multiple things, who've played a lot of good football, and we'll see how it turns out.
What do you like about Josh Jones and Kendrick Green?
With Jones, adding him, seeing Jones played against him, being with the Niners, saw Jones there. We played him in Mexico City. He did a really good job of holding his own, right? Did a really good job at tackle, had a lot of great reps against us. And he's had a lot of snaps in his league, a lot of experience. So the game isn't too big for Josh to step right in and be ready to roll.
The defensive end that you kept aside from obviously Will Anderson and Jonathan Bernard, but the depth at the defensive end position, obviously y'all let go of Jacob Martin, y'all kept Eric Rivers. What about the depth at defensive end? What did you like about the guys outside of obviously Jonathan?
Yeah, really like what Jerry brings. Jerry's been rushing the passer for a long time, right? Around the quarterback a lot in this league. So like what Jerry brings to our group, Dylan is a young end who is on the rise. He's continuing to grow, continuing to get better on what we're asking him to do. And Rivers has done a really good job throughout the preseason of being consistent and like where he's headed as well. So I like the depth of our group. I like our interior group as well. And the opportunities that we have to, rush the passer and mix and match guys along our defensive line, I feel good about it.
Take a couple more.
Kadar consistently got better each and every day. From where he started to where he finished training camp, he consistently got better. He competed every day, played hard, right? He was available every day, and Kadar has done a really good job.
Okay. Oh, sorry, you want to watch? Coach, at the NFL Combine, you talked about how you root for those guys who are, who didn't come in heralded as superstars and things like that, but the ones that are grinding. When you look back at your roster, did you see those type of guys? And when you look at a player like Khalil Davis, where he came from, even though he didn't make this team, did he just embody the spirit that you're looking for?
For sure. I mean, you look at a lot of guys, right? Khalil Davis is one guy who came in late in training camp, and he showed up every day. He was in the backfield making plays, and the guys bounced around a lot, and those are the guys I root for, right? If we can help them to find a home and stick, right, and make their career in the NFL, those are guys I root for, guys who just love the grind, and that's what I like about it, because NFL, as I talked about earlier, is a tough business. It's tough on these players, and they have a lot to deal with, so I appreciate the grind, and I try to make sure we got guys who are going to grind through the difficult times, because when we go through the season, there'll be ups and downs, but who can stick with it, right? Who has that grit about themselves to stick through tough times, and that's the guys I want to go to war with. All right. Thank you, guys.